Hey, what's up everybody? This is Josh Shezzy, and today's video blog is called Role Model, with the subtitle that says, what role are you modeling? And I was reading this book or whatever, and this word stuck out to me so much to the point where I said, I guess I have to do a video about it. Because if you look at the word, if you separate it, it's such, its meaning is so rich to the point to where I'm like, man, there's a lot of information, a lot of wisdom that can come from that word itself. So I said, let me do a video about it. So let's get right into it. If you look at the word role model and you separate it, you have two specific words. You have the word role, you have the word model. Model, by definition, just by looking at it, is reflecting off an image, modeling an image. There's a certain model that I'm modeling. There's a certain image, a certain content, a certain entity that I am modeling. And if you look at role within of itself has a specific definition in it as like purpose. In this particular role, I am fulfilling a particular purpose. So if you put those two together, you have purpose and you have model. That I am modeling this purpose. I am modeling this role. Thus, I'm role model. And when I looked at that word, I was like, God, you know, we're all supposed to model something. If you look at our world today, everyone is following something. Everyone is modeling something. That's why God has instituted within our world the family structure, because a son is supposed to model his father, and a daughter is supposed to model her mother, and mother and father are supposed to model God. And there's a lot of different things that we're supposed to model so that we will be in a position to fulfill our particular role or our particular purpose. But what is so sad is, and what reality has shown us, is that when you have an evil entity that's been governed by, you know, the demons and the fallen angels and Satan, they have formulated a system of distractions and a system of fake models, or models without any substance, or models without any purpose, so that they'll put them before the masses so that we will be derailed to model a role with no purpose. God has packaged within each and every one of us a particular purpose. Each and every one of us today are operating a certain role. By gender, I'm a male, which one day I will be role modeling or modeling the role of a father, or I'll be modeling the role of a man. Right now, I'm modeling the role of a man. Whoever's looking at me, who sees some type of value in me, is already emulating a certain role that I'm following. That's why to whom much is given, much is required, because the higher you go in life, the more of an influence you have, and with influence, you become a model that many people are modeling their roles after. That's why the deception is so thick. That's why if you look at the media, you look at television, you look on everywhere in our world, there's a model against the image of God. There's a model that go against what God has institutionalized within our world. That's why you have homosexuality. That's why you have people who go out there and just have sex, and you have people that just follow these different roles, because the society says that it's the role of a man to just have sex when he wants to. It's the role of a woman to be this certain way. Here's the role that a man should follow. Here's a role that a woman should follow. Here's a role society should follow. And it's funny how each of these roles are not modeling the context that's within the Bible, which is our manual for life. That's why you have to ask yourself is, what role are you modeling? Because God has packaged within each and every one of us a purpose. That's why none of us was born by mistake. None of us was put in this situation by mistake. God strategically placed you within this certain situation. God allowed certain things to happen through the context of time, so that through that context of time you will develop to be positioned to play the role that you're supposed to play. But what the distraction is that the risk of that is that if I cast people within a world that's full of distractions, they're going to have to rely on a certain model for them to be able to play their role after, so they can be able to fulfill their purpose. We have to look at our lives and say, what is my purpose? Before I endeavor to model anything in life, before I can endeavor to model this person or that person, I have to ask myself, what role are they playing? First off, I have to ask myself, what role am I playing? Because if you look at the Bible is so precisely describes the human heart. It precisely describes who we are. That's why God, if you look at any product, every product on the face of the earth has a manual. Every product, from your cell phone, your your television, your computer, wherever it is, came with the manual, and with that manual gives you the instructions to how to properly use that product. God knew that through the depravity of man, through the fall of man, through the sin nature that's within man, I had to come myself. I had to come within earth myself to present the right model, to present the right role for those to follow. Because I know that if I don't come, and if I don't have a written manual, then the product that I have created, the creation that I have created, will continue to be lost. That's why he says, narrow is the gate that leads to life, or few shall find it. Because he knows that this model is so individualized to one model that many people through their deprived heart will not follow it. This is why we have to be very careful, because before I endeavor to follow a role, I have to first finalize what truth resides in me. Because if I don't know the truth, how can I endeavor to be set free? If the Bible says that he is the one that leads and guides us to all truth, truth is the foundation of life. If you don't find truth, then how can you become a model for other people to model their roles after? Each and every one of us are playing a part. That's why an actor plays a role. A person plays this role. It is within that character structure that that person plays the role. What is your character structure like? If I was in the stands of an auditorium watching you play a part, what will I see? Behind closed doors, if I was the person behind a silk screen looking at your life, what character are you playing a role of? We have to understand that this world is showing us a lot of false models. It's showing us a lot of models that we shouldn't follow. We wear our pants, we sag, we wear this, we do this because images. The people who are controlling the media and the masses understands the value or the complexities of the mind. They know that if I present multiple images through repetition before a person, they will follow it. And if I continue to put those repetitions before their eyes and I put it in their ears, they will emulate what they are grasping or soaking in. That's why a son will always emulate their father even if they don't want to. A daughter will always emulate what their mother does or what society has produced as their mother and fathers. See, what you have to understand that mother and father by definition is a father is one who instructs. A mother is one who nurtures. Society has put in the faces of the world, of the masses, that this is the way of instruction. This is the way I want to nurture. So they say, this is the way I want you to go, and I nurture that path, because if I nurture that path that I'm instructing them to go, then they will fall into hell. What we have to understand is that this life is serious, and each and every one of us is playing a role. Right now you are a mother. Right now you are a father. Right now you are a man and a woman. Play that role. What is a man? A man is one who's secure within of himself. A man is a person that has values and principles and standards. A man is a person that says, I will be the best father I can be, or I will sacrifice myself for my family. What is a woman? What is the role of a woman? A woman is a person who nurtures her family, who nurtures the family structure, who submit themselves to their husbands as their husbands submit themselves to God. What is the structure of life, man? And we have to model these structures, or we'll continue to lead people down the wrong road. Because if we don't learn how to model God, we'll never learn how to model or play the roles that we're supposed to play. Think to yourself today and ask yourself, what role am I playing? What character? Who am I? Go to God to find out who you're supposed to be. Go to God to find out which role am I supposed to play. Because if you don't understand that the day that you die, the day that you stand before God, you're going to be held accountable to how far or how well did you adhere to the model and the role that He has packaged within you. See, we are without excuse. We have the legal right to do a lot of things, but we don't have the moral right to do them. God has placed within our hearts the law, the moral law of the difference between good and evil, so we won't be without excuse. We are already at the position to where we have to, through our free will, humble ourselves to ask God, what is my role in this life? What model am I supposed to model? Jesus Christ has already modeled the structure in which we're supposed to follow. It's within his life, through regeneration of our heart, that we can be able to model ourselves through the avenues of business, through the avenues of education, through the avenues of family, through the avenues of any entrepreneurial or artistic endeavors. Think to yourself today, are you humble in your hearts today to God's hand so that he can govern you and lead you through the path that you're supposed to be? Thank you for watching my video. I pray that this video shares some light. And it was a lot of information I probably didn't share, but for those who don't know, but I wrote a book that's called Unplugged. Feel free to get your copy today. You can get yourself a free copy. Just add me as a friend. I can give you my free e-copy of my book. But thank you for watching my video, and be blessed.